Did you see that birthday adverty promo thing? Everything that's going on. I thought it was all a big secret. I didn't know. I was told I wasn't allowed to tell you Natasha was coming back on the 12th. It's in the advert. The Orophyll box, the second quarter Orophyll box. I know. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Now, I've done voiceovers for each day, so you know the day before what's coming on the next day. Loads going on. There's absolutely loads going on. Anyway, have a look at this quilt. We love this quilt. Now, what happened was, this was supposed to be tomorrow, but because Sally Ann Harrison and her sister Leslie Ann Harrison are in the snow, stuck in the snow, Emma's come in a day before. So when Adele said to me yesterday, oh yes, she's doing the Mariner's Compass quilt, right? I said, oh yes, she'll just be making the corner, won't she? Because last time we did it with Sally Stevens, we just did a corner block. We haven't done this one, but last time we did a Mariner's block, we just did the corner block because it's so time consuming. And they went, no, look, and put a picture on the phone. Have a look at it again. How gorgeous is that? Fantastico, fantastico. Right, so loads of people messaging asking about this. So this is it. So I've got 2 bundles. That's it. I've got 2 bundles in this hour. You can either have in the one that's on the wall there. Now, Paul's going to have to read out the thingy because it's changed since I did my prep this morning. So bear with us as we read this out. So this is Dyford Hall with bijou and with solid colours in here. You get 12 metres in total, 2 metres of crimson, 1.5 of ivory, 1.5 of Dyford Hall sort of floral, 1 metre of the lace, 1 metre of the bijou, 1 metre of the Dyford Hall, 1 metre of the bijou, 1 metre of the Dyford Hall, 1 metre of the bijou, and 1 metre of the Dyford Hall. 12 metres plus your 2 threads. Then you also get this. Now, it's not just a book because it comes with the rulers as well here. Isn't that lovely? And then the book. This is, I mean, obviously, Emma's going to go through this with you in a minute. The book is fantastic because if you look on the back here, there are 3 quilt patterns. There are 3 quilt patterns here. Plus, you can do all of these blocks using this ruler and the instructions in this book here. Now, this is the 60-degree compass ruler fat robin. You might have seen the skinny robin before, but look at the detail. Oh, hang on, we'll just show the book. All the details. Now, Emma's going to go through all of this with you, so please, please, please don't get frightened by it. But you also get templates in here for when you want the inner circle. Oh, you haven't got those on yours, have you, Dan? So if you're doing the one with the inner circle, look, I'll just show you quickly. You get all the templates. These haven't been used in the one that Emma's done. She's done the square one. But you can see this one here. £171.99. Okay, so that's that one. Now, I've now also got it in blue. I have to get Chris to fold that up. It'll take me too long. I've also got it in the blue now. So the breakdown of this one, just stay with me on this one. So here you go. This is the blue one. Again, you get 12 metres of fabric. 2 metres of bijou Prussian. 1.5 metres of the Liberty sprig. That's Liberty, yeah. Then I've got Tilda blue. 1.5 metres of that. Oh, okay, hang on. I'm going to go back and go back. So you get 2 metres of Prussian. 1 metre of the Liberty. I'll take that out of there. That's Tilda, 1.5 metres, right? Ivory, 1.5 metres, and then 1 metre of the Clover, 1 metre of the Spot On, 1 metre of the Linear, 1 metre of the Liberty, which is going in there. I've never seen that one before. Beautiful, isn't it? I've never heard that one. Then you get 1 metre of this one and 1 metre of this one. So again, you get your 12 metres, plus your 2 threads, plus your ruler, plus your booklet and everything like that. Now, I understand. It's a considered purchase. I'm not going to make any bones about it, is a considered purchase, but do not buy this if it's your first quilt, go at quilt. This is intermediate to advanced, I would say, because you do have a lot to follow in the book and everything like that. And my other tip would be, and Emma will say this, when it arrives home, when you decide to start, sit down with a cup of tea and read this as though it's a novel before you even touch your fabrics, before you do anything else. Sit and read this. Now, I can sell this on its own. If you're thinking, well, I love it, but I want a green one, I want a pink one, I've got my own stash, I've got 12 meters. Oh, okay. Well, I thought on my page this morning I had this one. I have got this one. Yeah. No, I've got this one. I thought so. This is isn't it $49.99? Yeah. So you can buy this. So say you love the quilt so much, but you don't want it in either of our colourways. You can get the book and you can get the ruler, £49.99. £49.99. Yeah, fine, thanks. Yeah. At $49.99. $49.99. Right, okay. So you've got everything you need over there, so I can leave everything. Can you just get Chris to tidy that up for me, please? Right. Oh, thank you so much for coming in at such short notice. I'm really good, thank you. I'm glad. I love it when you're in. So right.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. Definitely. First thing you do when you get it, make a cup of tea, sit down, read the book. It even has a recipe in it, actually.
For what?
Coconut pie.
Oh, don't do coconut, that's fine.
No, but I don't think you can get one of the ingredients here. I think it's not.
Oh, is it like, it's, okay.
Yeah.
But it's a quilt and a half, isn't it?
It is, definitely.
Oh, now, I should have asked you this in prep. Do you know the finished size in the book? I'll measure it afterwards.
I think it's something like 67 by 82.
Okay,
like
I'll double check. But I mean, so it's double bed, 67 by 82, double bed size?
It's sort of more of a single bed size, I'd say. A generous single bed size.
Yeah, generous single bed, or just the top of a double
the
bed, isn't it? It won't fold over.
Yeah.
But it is amazing, isn't it?
And I have to admit, I've done Mariner's Compass with the foundation piecing and this way. And for me, I prefer this way better.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
But you may have seen, foundation paper piecing taxes my brain a lot.
Okay, now I've just noticed something, and I don't know if it's a mistake or not.
Oh, okay.
Right. They're all squares in the middle, apart from the one in the centre, which has got like a on-point square, and the bottom left-hand, which is an on-point square. Look.
What?
Here.
Oh.
Square, 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 square,
Oh, yeah.
diamond, square, 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 diamond.
That's a good catch. I didn't even notice that. So that was when you trim them afterwards. It got twisted around.
No, I like it. I'm not saying things. I think I like things like that.
Yeah, it was done quite quickly.
Well, the thing is, you've got to remember that, like before we start, this is a project, isn't it? This is not just I'll knock this up in a weekend.
No,
because I know you were working for a deadline for us, but you've worked non-stop for days and days and days making this, haven't you? So it really is a project that you're going to love doing.
Yes.
But it is a project.
And I definitely recommend doing one block at a time. So I did all of the blocks at once. Well, actually, I did one on its own first, just to get the lay of the land.
Yeah.
And then I did all of the blocks, the last.
But you would suggest. How many blocks are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, there's
12.
Yeah, so you'd make each block completely individually.
Yes.
Would you cut it all out to begin with, or would you literally just go along?
No, you can cut it out. So if we go to the book.
Yes.
So the way the book is set out, so you've got it. This is why I suggest reading it first, because it comes in sections. So you've got your color-coded sections, and then each section starts the numbering again. So you've got green section.
Oh, so you've got green section 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
Pink section 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes.
Oh, I see. Right.
Yes. So when in the instructions, so the instructions for this quilt are in the back, and it will tell you which parts to go to. So this block was actually the simplest, which is I would recommend starting with that one before going to the more advanced ones. So this is the first one.
Oh, okay, so these are the different blocks here. So where's our block on there then? Because that's got a circle.
It does have a circle, but you've got the option of doing a reverse applique square, which is what the
or
doing a bundle-webbed circle over the top.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
So that's our block, is it? But you've
Yes.
got the square in the middle with the reverse applique, but
Yeah.
they've got the circular, and that's the most simple of the blocks.
Yes.
So if
Yes.
you wanted to make that quilt, you can't make that quilt with all the other blocks, can you? The other blocks for other patterns.
You could, but I don't know if the fabric in the bundle.
Oh,
would-
no.
yeah.
Obviously, we've bundled it
Yeah,
for that one. But if you were
Yes.
making it, because once you've got
You
it,
could.
you've got the
Good.
book and you've got
Yes.
the ruler, haven't you? Yeah.
And the other thing that's really good is that you can make all of the blocks in different sizes.
Oh.
So there is an overview. So it goes from 6-inch to 20 inches
What
for your
are
blocks.
those? What size are those?
Those are 12-inch.
Oh, so you can go half. What's the matter with our throats today?
I know.
It's the air conditioning. So you can go from half that size.
Yeah, to almost 3 times, so 20 inch.
Obviously
Really
not with
big.
our bundle, but imagine that would make a huge king size if you made them
Yeah,
and
yeah,
be
yeah.
very dramatic, wouldn't it?
And you
So-
could combine them, so you could do a really big one as a medallion, and then do some smaller ones around.
Oh,
the
so
edges.
the world's your oyster,
Yeah,
really,
yeah, yeah.
once you get going. And
Yeah.
of course, so you can also make up your own designs because you can
Yes.
follow their 3 if you wanted to, or you could just go, I'm going to make 20 blocks and create my own design from it.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Right. Okay. So we did say it was intermediate to advanced, really, because it's
Yes.
not simple, is it?
It's not simple. You do, and the ruler. I mean, the thing I liked about the book is that there are lots of pictures.
Yes.
I like pictures. And you do have to make sure that you're following along exactly, you're placing your fabric exactly how it's placed in the book
Right.
to follow it along. And you're lining up what it says to line up where it says to line up.
Okay.
So the first thing that you do is you'll cut your strips. So when I made that quilt and I got the bundle, it tells you how many strips of which to.
Can I just turn that
Yeah.
one around that way around? So it tells you. So these are your fabrics here.
Yes.
So what Adele has done with this one behind us is she's tried to team it up to as near as this
Yeah.
fabric as possible. Obviously, if you've got the blue one, you will need to decide which way. Now, there's more of some of them. The ones that you got more of are for, presuming, the border.
Yeah, so the red I had more of, so I used that
Yeah.
on the corners and the border, and then the pink was 1.5 meters, I believed, which I saved only for the border.
Yes. Okay. That's only in the border. That's nowhere
Yeah,
else.
nowhere else.
So you have to sit down and work out from the meterage of your
Yeah.
fabrics which
Where
ones you're going to put where.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I also
perfect.
had enough for the binding as well, and this was not a scrappy binding; it was just a complete. From one
Yes,
to
that's by the
round.
stripy one at the end,
Yeah.
isn't it? Does that
Yeah.
appear anywhere in the quilt?
It
Oh, yes,
does.
there.
I've got some there, and there's some points with it as well.
Yeah. Oh, so now, and have you got any fabric left over at the end?
There were a couple of the darker brown ones. I think I had just under 1/2 meter left of this one.
Right.
And a little bit more. Let's see, I used that one for the.
So I suppose it depends what you decide, because if you decide to put something different in these blocks, then you might have that one left over.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, perfect.
But you have plenty. And also, because while I was cutting them, I did either cut it the wrong size or the wrong way. And it wasn't a big deal because I had plenty of
Oh,
extra
so it's not
left.
that if you make a mistake, you
Yeah.
don't go, that's it, I'm done for now.
No,
Perfect.
you've got enough left over that there's extras.
So how do we go about, because you say you've got the books in the 4 different sections. I mean, obviously read it all first of all, so you
Yeah.
understand it. Do you do all of the first section first? Or, like, what was the first colour, did you say? Was it cutting out in the
Oh,
at the beginning here? You know, you said it was in 4... Where's the... Here. So the green...
these are your different blocks.
Oh, I see. So if
Yeah.
you're just going to do this one, you just
Yeah.
follow that green.
Yes.
But do you have to cross-reference between the green and the purple or the pink or anything like that? Or can
Yes.
You do?
A little bit, because there's finishing. The finishing part, the purple part, is how you trim up your blocks at the end, and
Oh,
also how
okay.
you finish the centres. So it tells you the instructions for the bundle web part or the reverse applique
So what you
part.
need to do is when you sit down with your cup of tea at the beginning, decide which one you're going to do,
Yeah.
get post-it notes,
Yes.
and put them on the pages that you need
Yeah.
to refer to, because it won't
help.
just be the green one, you'll be going into the pink one and the purple one
Yeah,
as well.
exactly.
Got it. Any other tips before we start making it? Anything else you need to tell me? So you've cut
Yes.
all your pieces out here.
So it just should tell you, and it gives you 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. So on your blocks on here, so this is your 0.1,
Right,
this is your 0.2,
right.
and then your last one is 0.3.
And that's the different sizes?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you need to cut strips to different sizes. It tells you, if you're making this quilt, it tells you the instructions for cutting in the top corner.
Right.
These are going to make a 12-inch block.
Yes.
However, the background strip size doesn't match what is if you are just going to make your own blocks.
Right.
So it gives you all the instructions of cutting out all your size strips right here. So,
Oh, okay.
so here, the 12-inch block, it tells you to cut out a background strip of 3 1/4,
Right.
whereas here it's 3 1/2.
And which is it?
It is 3 1/2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I follow these instructions.
Okay.
However, on this bit that I'll go to, it is a bit different.
Right. Okay.
And it took me a little bit to figure
And
out.
was there something else you wanted to point out about there was a
Oh, yes.
typing error just somewhere, just so you know
Just
at home,
on
in
this-
the book there's a typing
I
error.
haven't checked the other ones, but on this pattern, for the inside border, so this border,
Yeah.
it says to cut 6 1/2-inch strips, but it should be 2 1/2.
Oh, well,
obviously-
I think that would be quite
Yeah.
obvious because, well, you could do 6 1/2 if you wanted, but you can have a very much wider border,
Yes,
aren't you? Yeah.
exactly. So the 6 1/2 is this border, 2 1/2 is that.
Oh,
border.
and they said both of them are 6 1/2.
Yes.
Okay. Got it.
So
Okay.
that. Okay.
But you'll have read the book before
Yeah.
you cut any piece of fabric. Read.
yes.
Right. Okay. So where do we start? then?
So what you'll end up with, oh, I've lost one.
Oh, it's a good start.
I know. So I've skipped ahead a little bit. So
Right.
what you'll end up with is your background fabric strip, which is 3 1/2 inches.
Yes.
Your point 1, first point,
Which is the little point.
the little point,
Yeah.
which is 2 1/4 inches.
Yeah.
A 3-inch strip for your point 2,
2. Yeah.
and 4-inch strip for your point 4.
Okay. It's all in the
Point
book.
3, yeah. So in the book.
Right.
So I've only cut out enough just to make one block.
Yeah. Oh,
But
yeah.
you'll
I
have
don't
different
expect you to
ones.
make the whole quilt.
Yeah. But you'll have all different colours of different size strips to mix and match whatever you want. So put these aside for now. Then the first step that you'll do is you sew your background strip and your point 1 strip together.
Right.
And you'll stagger them a little bit. In the book, it tells you to stagger them so that you get the most out
Oh,
of
when
them.
you're sewing them together, you
Yes.
don't do this. Don't sew
No.
them together like this.
No.
Because you're going to be
That's been cut
cutting
off.
like that, so
Yeah.
you don't want to waste all of that fabric. There.
Exactly, yeah. And then what you'll do is you'll cut them all at an angle, and it's at a 60-degree angle.
Yeah. What? Sorry.
A 60-degree angle.
Okay. So do we use? Are we not using that ruler that comes in there yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
No, now I'm just using my regular ruler. Mine at home has the 60-degree angle going both directions.
Right.
So one way and the other.
Right.
With the creative grid ones that I was looking in the back, it only goes one direction. So you'd need to flip your
I was going to
ruler.
say you just flip the ruler though.
Flip
can't
the
you?
ruler
Yeah.
over. Yes, or this one actually goes
Because
the
you've got
right
to
way.
cut 60 degrees in a certain direction.
Yes.
Right. Got it.
Yes. And definitely line it up by the way it says in the book. Because I started, that's why I cut this one straight. I started cutting it using the creative grid ruler the right way. I'm like, oh, wait a minute, that's
Not work.
not going to work.
Okay.
So make sure that you line everything up. It's actually going to be lining up my 60-degree angle along the edge.
Yes.
And you can do it on the middle as well. So on mine, I actually lined it up with the middle center seam.
Right.
But you
And
can
where are you cutting then? A lot across there.
Yes.
Oh, I see. But if you did it on 60 degree on this one, you're not going to carry on all the way across. So you have to-
Exactly.
okay,
Yeah.
right.
Now this is the part in the book where I had to search which one it should be cut.
Right.
So according to these instructions, you cut your next set of strips, which will look like this,
Right.
the same width as your background strip.
Right.
So if I'm just using these instructions, the 12-inch is 3 1/4.
Right.
Because that's what it says here.
Right.
But on these instructions, it tells you to cut your background fabric 3 1/2.
Right.
So it's like, so which one do I cut? So I cut it both ways, and it is 3 1/4. So you do have to.
So you're following the original
Yes.
page. Okay.
Yes. So I'm just going to line up my 3 1/4 inch line along here, my 60-degree along there, and actually I'm going to twist this. This is where this comes in really handy.
Yes.
Actually, this is
So hang on. Where's your 3 1/2? There's your 3 1/2 there.
yes, but I'm going to cut 3 1/4.
Oh, okay. So we're not cutting 3 1/2. 3 1/4.
Huh?
Sorry, 3
Cutting
1/4.
it 3 1/4.
Got it. And your 60 degree line's going across the top of your fabric.
Yes.
Yeah. Got it.
So I've got the angle.
Yeah. Got a sharp rotary cutter blade today, huh?
Yes.
I guess you can hear it. And are they all cut the same way?
Cut the
you don't
same way.
cut reverses or
No.
anything like that. And how many do you cut?
You cut 8. 2, 4, yeah, cut 8 per
Okay.
block.
Okay. So now, you keep going, but
Yeah.
on the different blocks, you'll always have the wide one as your background fabric, as your cream.
Yes.
But this stripe here
Can change.
will be different.
Yeah.
Can be different blues, can't it?
Yeah.
But you keep all of those together. This doesn't swap in this one. All 8 of these stay the same fabric in each block.
Yes.
You'd think they'd have put on the ruler that came in it. You'd think they'd put a 60, you know what I mean, incorporate
Yeah,
that into
there
that ruler.
There is a ruler that you can buy additionally. One of their
Oh,
rulers
one of their
that has,
rulers.
yeah, it has all of the angles radiating out from the center.
Right.
And it tells you the instructions to do it using that ruler or a regular one. So you've got the choice either way.
Yeah. One, two, three, 4.
Yeah,
Have you best pressed or anything like that, this fabric?
I haven't.
And you just press the seam just one way, obviously, 'cause it's
Yes,
just one strip.
and you have to press it towards the background fabric.
Oh,
Even though this is the lighter one.
Okay.
That's what it says to do. This is why, this lining up and the accuracy is why I don't recommend it for an absolute beginner.
No.
Because if you go off to begin with, then the rest of your block is going to be off.
And it's not the kind of quilt that you can have a design, you know what I mean? It'll spoil it if one of the blocks is off. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes
Yeah.
you can get away with one block being a bit different because it's
Yeah.
a design feature.
Yeah.
But I think on something like this, it has to be spot on, doesn't it?
The thing that will happen with this one, because it does end up being sort of circular, is that your edges can be longer than your center, so you'll end up with wavy
Yes.
edges, basically, which will make it difficult to put
Yeah.
together in a quilt.
One, two, 3, 4, 5, 6. So remember that the one that's on the top here is 171. That's, oh yeah, because it doesn't say what it is, does it? So the 171.99 is that one, right? And then the blue one, sorry, it doesn't. Does the blue one have the blue one got it written in? And that one says blue, just because they're obviously different prices. And obviously you're going to need, there you go, blue. So that one's blue. The one without a colour is the one that's behind me. So you'll have both graphics in for the whole hour, one at the top and one at the bottom.
There.
Right.
That's all my 8. Then obviously you get a little bit extra. You'd have a little bit more extra because I've cut
But if
this.
you made another one in that colourway, then you've got that.
Yes, you've got that already.
Yeah, right, okay.
But if you cut it the wrong size or the wrong angle.
Oh, you've got room to play with.
Yes, basically. Right.
Okay.
Then the next step is using the ruler.
Oh, the ruler that comes in the book, yeah.
Yes. Oh,
Oh.
I skipped a step. Okay. Next bit is actually you still use this one.
Oh, okay.
And then you're going to make your pie.
Pardon?
A pie.
Right.
So I'm laying my fabric exactly the way it says in the book.
Yes.
I'm taking my regular ruler.
Yeah. You
And
just moved it from what is in the book. Go on.
Yes, I have, because I'm going to cut from this corner
Yeah.
1/4 inch into it. So I'm going to line up my edge of my ruler is directly on the corner right here.
Yeah.
So directly on the corner right here.
Right. Hang on, we didn't see that one here.
So directly on the corner right here.
Hang on, just. Right.
And then I'm going to line up my edge of my ruler 1/4 inch into from this corner.
Okay. Into the blue.
Yes. So you'll cut a tiny triangle of the blue off.
Right. On all of them.
All of them. And then what I did, because I actually had a little tea tray that I used.
A little what?
Tea tray. Because I wanted to make sure that I matched these up, because you've got to use these to sew onto this side.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, blimey.
Yes. So I'll just do a few.
You need to do them all, won't you, if you're going to do
I
the
will.
block? No, keep
That's
going.
true. If I do half of them, we can
Yeah,
do
yeah.
show.
It's just really weird, isn't it? You're cutting that one off. Because surely that tiny little bit goes into a seam, does it not?
You'll see.
Okay.
You'll see.
Oh, shut up.
We actually take that little bit off.
Oh!
Yeah. That will come off. Right.
Okay, so you
So
do all
that's
8 of them. We're just
do
doing
all of-
4, but you
yes.
do all 8 of
Okay.
them, right?
Okay, now once that's done, you then need to use your ruler.
The ruler that comes with the book.
Yep, the special ruler. And I'm going to use the B side. So there's an A and a B
Right.
kite.
And it tells you obviously which one to. But it's really weird, because it's called a 60-degree compass ruler. You'd think it would have the 60-degree line on it for
Yeah.
what you need, but anyway.
I know. Right, so and then it looks like this, and then, right, so you've got lines that go along here.
Yes.
So your dotted lines, so there's 2 sets of lines, solid lines and dotted lines.
Yeah.
Your dotted lines are always going to line up with your raw edge,
Right.
and your solid lines are going to line up with a seam.
Right.
And then they've got numbers on there to correspond with the size of the block that you're
Okay.
making.
So we're doing a 12-inch block.
Yes. So let me just make sure I'm doing it correct.
Yeah.
So I'm going to line up my 12-inch solid line with the center seam right here,
Right.
and then I'm going to cut across this bit.
Because we're only using this side of the ruler, aren't we? The B side of the ruler.
And you're using the B side of the ruler.
Okay.
Let me just double check that that's correct before I do it. Yeah. The first cut is left and low.
It's what?
Left and low.
That's right and...
Right and low, I know.
You should have videoed yourself making it when you're doing. Well, hang on. You've got it set like you've got it in the
Yeah.
book. So you've got the ruler there. You've got your 12-inch line on there. You've got it's in this trapezium shape there. There's this.
Yeah.
I suppose you can't go where their end is because you don't know what size they've
Yeah.
done. And then you're taking off a little
Yeah.
triangle at the bottom. So that's right. It's
Okay.
correct.
Okay. I'll just.
Says he, the master of quilting. Now that little bit you cut off.
That's rubbish.
Oh, okay. You'd have to
That's
save
rubbish.
that to add that on anyway.
No,
so-
that's rubbish.
Right.
And then you move your ruler down, and then you line up your 12-inch dotted line with the raw edge here.
Right.
And then your
Oh yes,
solid
it's right.
line.
It's right because that's
Yeah.
exactly the same as the drawing there.
Perfect. Yeah. So I've lined up my 12-inch, and then your numbers are on top of the dotted line.
Yes.
So you want to line up with the dotted line that's below the number.
Oh right. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Got it. So it's not on the dotted line. It's the one you go to the dotted line below the number that you want.
Yes. And line up your solid line up against the seam allowance again. And then
Because you're just taking off a tiny, tiny corner.
Yeah.
So now, do you save that bit, or is that bit rubbish as
That's
well?
rubbish.
Okay.
well, that's your scrap.
I mean, yeah, but it's not going into the quilt.
No. And I've flipped all my bits over, so I know this one actually goes to that. So I'm keeping track of.
Oh, okay. Ooh.
I know.
I bet none of your family were allowed in the room when you were doing this one, then.
There wasn't a lot of conversation going on. It was just me and my true crime podcasts.
You even had noise. I'd have to have total silence if I was doing this. I suppose once you've done the first couple like this, like you've just moved
Yeah.
that straight to, you know what
Yeah,
you're
you
doing
know,
after the first
it's
couple.
just that first cut and then making sure. That's why I recommend doing your first block first. Do one block.
Yes. Oh,
as a
yes. No,
tester.
because if you had hundreds of these all in a pile in a room or so, oh no, I know what
Yeah.
you mean. Paul's just built a one kitchen unit, right? And he said he didn't have music on. I have music on all the time in my house. Music or talking radio. I have to always have noise
oh,
going
yeah,
on.
I do.
Okay.
Last one. This is where the pictures really helps as well.
Yeah, no, because if you just had words, that said left and it wasn't left at all, was it?
No. And there is another spot later on where I really had to think about where it wanted me to line
Okay, so
everything up.
let me get rid of those because they're
Thank
not
you.
needed, are they?
Thank you.
Only because it'll get.
Yes.
Okay, so we've now got the 4 original triangles with a tiny bit of blue on the top.
Yep.
And these 4, 4 new shapes here.
Perfect.
Is that right?
Yeah. Then you take your little corner off,
Oh,
just like that.
okay. So you take the little corner off. See how that...
Yeah. And you end
Can
up
I
with
do this one just so you can see? Just take the corner off. Do we keep it?
Nope. And you
Right.
just end up with a shape like that.
Right. Oh, hang... Oh.
Yeah, because you've...
So you unfold the
Yes.
seam. Oh, so you then unfold the seam allowance. So you've got that unusual looking shape like that. Right.
Oop.
And where'd you put that then?
Like that. So you're going to sew it on like that.
Oh, yes, okay. But why do you need that funny little shape at the bottom?
You don't.
Oh.
It's just...
Oh,
You,
well.
you will trim it off later. It's just
Oh, it's
the
just
way
to
it
help.
comes.
Oh, but it's really easy to line it up, and you
It
haven't
is.
then. You're not going to have your
Yeah. And you don't want to line it up all the way to the edge. You want to line it up, actually, the way it says in the book, let me do it correctly.
Yes, please.
Yes. Is that you take your ruler and then
Normal ruler.
normal ruler, and then you line it up so you've got 1/4 inch. This part is 1/4 inch in, if that makes
Right.
sense.
Yeah.
You can also do it on your, I'll do it on my 1/4 inch foot.
Right.
So you want that 1/4 inch to line up 1/4 inch so that your seam starts, if you know what I mean. Be easy if I show you.
Yeah. Oh, you're right.
Yeah, I'm all right. Somebody forgot to put the setting to the 1/4 inch setting.
Someone.
Me.
No, this is the 720 coming up later. We've got a fabulous deal on that. Fabulous deal on this machine. This is the semi-industrial machine. I'll talk about it later though.
Yeah. It's nice. I used it last time I was here too.
Yeah, it's not lovely machine.
It
isn't
is.
Oh, and you're going to. Oh, now.
Yes.
Oh. Chain piecing. Now, there's something coming up. I can't tell you what it is, but in the birthday week. Wasn't in that promo. Wasn't that promo? Yeah. There's one of our saying called to hampers with some brand new things in it. And if you can't say it, but if you do chain piecing, there's something you have to have.
I love chain piecing. Thank you.
Tight. Oh, tight as we go. No, don't throw that one away. So did you not have any snow at all?
We had a little dusting
All right.
overnight.
But
Last
did you go
sort
to
of 3
-4?
nights.
We went to -4 at one point.
Almost.
Yeah.
I think it was -3.5 one morning when I got up.
Because I've been in a hotel all week because they thought I was going to get snowed in or out. I didn't no snow whatsoever in Birmingham or Stratford, but right, okay. So
Then I just remembered I forgot to ask Chris for something.
you forgot to ask Chris what you need.
Ironing mat, please.
Are you ready for that now?
Yes, please.
Okay. Do you want a drink of water? You're all right.
Yeah, actually, that might help. I don't know what's wrong. So it's
I'm the same today.
yeah.
Can we have some water for
Please.
Emma, please? I would give you mine, but I don't think you want to drink out of my bottle.
right.
Okay.
Then it's just pressing.
So where are you pressing? What where?
You can actually press it. Well, it's still towards the background,
Oh, okay. Okay, fine.
which is what we not say. It's not towards the dark
It's
side.
not towards the dark side, which
No,
is what we
but-
normally do, isn't it?
Yeah, rules are meant to be broken. Sometimes you have to press to the lighter side.
Okay. But now you can see that it was worth it because it's almost like a foundation paper pieced precision, isn't
Yes.
it? Almost without the foundation paper.
Oh yes,
piecing.
the points are really easy
Yes.
to.
Right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go and do the bundle, so you can have a
Okay.
drink of water.
Thanks.
Do you press those 4, but then
Yeah.
don't do anything
No,
else
no.
after that?
I'll show
all
you
right?
how to
I've got the book over there. So come with me.
Cool.
Come with me. There's the finished quilt. I'm not surprised you're loving it, and I mean, it's just brilliant that Emma's doing it, isn't it, as well? Because she's so brilliant with her instructions and things like that. So 171.99 is enough to make the whole of the front of that quilt. But you also, because you get the ruler and everything with it, I'll tell you about that in a minute. So you get 12 meters of fabric here, 2 meters of your crimson, 1.5 meters of your ivory, 1.5 meters of your pink. So this is your border, that's your background, and that's your other background with your other border. Then you get a meter. So these are all Dyford Hall. This is Bijou, Dyford Hall, Bijou, Dyford Hall, Bijou, Dyford Hall. All 100% cotton, all machine washable, all 44 inches wide. Now you also get the book, and I'll let you do it from the still there, the book and the ruler. But you don't just have to make this one. There are so many ways, and you can do blocks from 6 inches to 20 inches within the book. So that's the one that's finished. And then we have the blue one, the blue version, which is the one Emma's working on, which will be gorgeous. Well, you'll see hopefully a block made up. Mind you, I don't mind if I go a bit over on this hour because I want to get it sorted. So for 196.99, so you get 2 meters of your bijou, 1.5 meters of your tilde, 1.5 meters of your ivory, meter of liberty. Never seen this one before. Meter, and meter. Aren't they just beautiful? It's just gorgeous. And you get the book, and you get the rulers and everything like that. And the ruler and the book you've got forever, haven't you? I've got the ruler and book on its own if you want that. If you're thinking, oh, well, I've got 12 meters of fabric, I could do that in those lovely yellows I've got, or the oranges I've got, whatever colour you've got at home. I tell you what, it would look lovely. And if you've got lots of William Morris at home, imagine making that out of William Morris fabrics. If you want the book and the rulers on their own, £49.99. £49.99. Now, we've got a premiere here. Now, this is nothing to do with this quilt. Nothing to do with this quilt whatsoever. This is still Mariner's Compass. This is a strip piecing method, no paper piecing. You get one ruler in here, but you can do 16 sizes from 6 to 36 inches. No, don't buy this for this quilt. You don't need this quilt. It's just a brand new little book and ruler that we've got there. I'm sure one of our designers will do a demonstration of it one day, but we've just got that in. £39.99. Don't buy this for today's quilt, though. This is just if you've already got one. You might already have the fat robin or the skinny robin thinking, oh, I want to do something else. Well, this one here is the strip piecing method. Brand new today, £39.99. Right, okay, let's go back. So you finished your ironing then?
Yes.
I'll just put that under here for now then.
Thank you.
Okay, right.
Done.
What are you doing now then?
Now I am just trimming up the edges of those because we had that extra little bit.
Oh, yes, yes, yeah.
So I'm just lining it up with the corner here and then the
So this is just
edge.
a normal ruler, this isn't your
Yep.
Why have you swapped rotary cutters?
They took it away from me. I'm not allowed to use it.
Why?
I don't know, Chris said.
Oh, no.
There. Right. So you end up with what they call pie pieces.
Yeah, pie
Like that.
pieces, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And then the next part is you're actually going to sew them directly onto your second strip.
Oh, okay. Now, do we need the ruler or the ruler for this bit? You're
No.
just doing sewing.
No, just sewing for this part.
Right.
Now the way it tells you to line them up is sort of 1/4 inch from, I've got my selvage edge on here still, so I
Yeah.
want to ignore that. So they line it up on this side.
Yeah,
So you sort of pay attention to where the pattern is, cross,
yeah.
and then you flip it so that it's just below, maybe 1/8 of an inch or so below that point.
Okay, do that again, because I'm lost.
Okay.
So,
So they have you line it up sort of 1/2 inch or so from the edge,
from this top edge?
Yep.
Yeah, right.
and then you've got to flip it back the other way so that it's maybe 1/8 of an inch. Why they didn't tell you just to put it like
5/8 of an inch down that side.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, okay, that's fine.
So
So, it's nothing. You literally just put it 5/8 of an inch down that side.
Yeah, and all of your other points you're always going to sew along this side,
Right. Okay.
and then you can just strip.
So you're going to sew all of these
Yes, onto
to
here,
there,
and you only
but you don't need 5/8 of an inch between those. Then it's only that one that you need 5/8 of an inch from the end,
you only need 1/4 of an inch in between.
or
these.
1/2 an inch.
quarter of an inch.
Of course, totally,
yeah.
of course, because you're not going to
Yeah.
cut any seam allowance off or anything.
No,
Okay, right.
no. I'm just going to do 2 for now because you would only do half of your.
Okay.
Just going to try this. Half of your points at this point. So if I'd had all 8 done, you would do 4 along here. You only need to do half of them.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, what's the matter now?
my thread snapped.
Oh.
It's just beginning to be one of those days. I think Chris was saying, everything's going good so far today. I'm like, wait till I'm on.
Yeah.
I'll fix that.
But you'll be done in no time.
Yep, yep. I can't see that. I'm sorry.
Got my glasses. Oh.
There we go. It's easier for me to just thread it than to see
yeah.
where it should go on
Yeah.
the threader.
Right.
Okay. And when you're doing this
No, I've
bit,
got them. I've got them. I've got them.
okay.
Yeah.
When you're doing this bit, because it's on the bias, you just have to be careful not to stretch it. But you've got your strip on the bottom, so it
The
should.
strip, so the strip on the bottom is on the straight.
Yes.
But your triangle is obviously on the bias.
Yeah.
Thank you, Christopher.
There we go.
Right.
So you just.
So
cut these-
you'd put all 4 of them. Would you put, yeah,
Yes,
all of
normally I would
all
put all
8. Well, there's 8 of them, aren't there?
Yes, but I'd only put 4 of them because you only need half of them because you're going to sew the other half to the other side.
Oh, okay. Got it. Right. Okay.
And these you can just cut. Actually, it's best to iron first. Yes.
Must have read your mind, mustn't
Yeah,
I?
yeah,
then?
yeah. So these ones are going to press towards the strip.
Yeah.
This time. There we go.
Right.
And then for this part, you just need your regular ruler again.
But the thing is, the people who are going to be making this are going to have their quilting rulers anyway.
Yes.
So it's no.
Yeah.
So you're cutting.
I'm going to line up my ruler with the edge of my pie,
Yeah.
and I'm going to use that angle to cut.
Oh, so this isn't straight across. This is following the line of
Yes.
the pie edge. Yeah.
Yes.
Ooh,
Exactly.
Apple pie would be quite nice now.
It would.
I don't really eat pies because I don't really eat pastry, but apple pies.
I have to be careful with apple pie because I really don't like cinnamon in it.
Oh, don't you?
No.
Cinnamon's good for you.
Yeah.
Why don't you like? It's just well, you don't. Where is it they eat a spoonful of cinnamon every morning to keep slim?
I don't know.
No, not Mary Poppins, China. I was thinking of Japan or something like that.
I didn't mind.
No,
Cinnamon.
you can't eat a spoonful of cayenne pepper.
Well, you could. It wouldn't necessarily be good
No.
for you.
Right,
Okay.
okay.
So that's what you end up with, is 4 pieces that look.
Hang on. What?
Yeah, so you end up with 4 pieces that look
Yeah,
like
okay,
that.
brilliant.
And then your next step is you do need your.
New ruler.
Yes, and this time I'm going to use the A side.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yes, right.
So cut this side off first.
Yes.
So I'm going to. It's exactly the same way that we lined it up on the B
Yeah.
side. So I'm going to
So
line
your
up
solid lines are seams.
Yes.
And your dotted lines are raw edges.
Yes.
And you're doing 12.
Yes. So I'm lining up my 12 to the seam that I just made.
Yeah.
I'm going to cut off this little corner.
Okay. Oh, so it's the same thing really, doing a corner one side, then twisting it round and doing the other.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you bring it down to
Raw
12.
edge. Dotted line underneath your number.
Yes.
Seam line on the straight line.
Yep.
Oh, looks like you're cutting quite a lot off there.
Yes. That's why you only need about 1/4 of an inch in between. Because
Yes.
next
Yeah.
one would start
Yeah.
there. So
That doesn't go in the quilt.
Nope.
No.
Thank you. So then you end up with a piece that looks like that.
I can see where it's going now.
Yeah. Once you've got the rhythm down and such the
Do what?
Once you've got the rhythm down,
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
suss
yeah.
the
Yes,
foot rulers
it is.
out.
It literally is just working out. You see, I'd be tempted to make one a block out of my stash fabric, out of
Yes.
my cottons that I've just got, just to be on the safe side.
Yeah, that's
because you
be
might
good.
not want. So, because once you've got the hang of it,
Yeah.
you'll get going, won't
Yeah,
you?
you'll
But
know what you're doing.
I'd make one out of
Little
different coloured
practice.
stash ones. You can always make a cushion out of that
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something,
yeah,
you
it'd be
know.
lovely.
But it's just so you got it right for when you then start
Yep.
cutting up your real fabrics.
The other thing I would do as well is because this is just a flat ruler.
Yeah.
Those little sticky.
Oh yeah, we
grippers,
sell those. We
Yeah.
sell those. I think they're on the website.
Those would be handy, just to make sure it stays in place when you're cutting.
Yes, because it is important for it to be precise, and
Yes.
we're all so used to creative grids that have the
Yeah, they do.
the non-slip
Nice bits.
So literally, you know you're doing right because you're just literally taking the tiniest corner off that the
yeah,
cream bit,
and then the
aren't you?
big bit.
Okay, so you end up with 4 of those.
Yep. Then you add your other bit to the other side.
This really is like a labour of love, isn't it?
Yes.
This bit. Or-
No, my little pies. Need my pies.
Oh, you have the pies.
Yep.
Sorry, I'll move those over. Who ate all the pies exactly? Right. Oh yeah, look,
Yeah.
it's coming together now.
And this is the same thing that you, the 1/4 inch is now at the kite side. So I've got my blue against blue.
Yeah.
So my 1/4 inch.
Do you want to put it on my hand?
There we go. Yeah, so I need to
Oh, there you go. Brilliant. Ooh.
stick my
Okay.
little bit of fabric up 1/4 inch.
Yeah.
It's all going to line up along the edge here. And then you just sew your seam down.
I was telling Emma about my hand this morning. I was staying in a hotel the last few nights, and I went to bed the night before last, absolutely fine. Oh, except that, didn't realise in the hotel if you don't bang the door's not shut.
Oh,
So I could
stayed
hear
in.
somebody chatting, thinking, oh, they're
Yeah,
very loud
I've stayed in
their
places like that.
room. They weren't in their room, they were bloody standing at my door with the door open.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I woke up in the morning and had a great big gouge missing out my finger, and I don't know where it is or how I've done it.
Sleepwalking?
Or anything. Well, I used to. When I was at college, they found me paddling in the lake. I used to went to Bretton Hall. The first college I went to, Bretton Hall, was like where they filmed Women in Love, and it was all like at the lake and Inigo Jones Gardens. Everything like that. They found me paddling.
Wow.
And then another day, they found me climbing up. I was on a chair and I slid down the wall, and the top of the radiator took a gouge out of my leg.
Oh.
I slept through it. I didn't
Yeah.
wake up. But the amount of mornings I wake up and I've got mud on my feet and things like that. So if ever I'm in a strange bed, that's what it is. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
My finger's very sore. Really sore.
Yeah. Now we
yeah.
just press those. Yes, please. I want to try this stripy fabric out to see how it would look. It
Well,
looks
it's nice.
Really nice.
It's been on air once apparently before. I've never seen it. Last October. Wasn't with
Oh,
me.
wow.
I've never seen it.
No, it's nice.
Oh, it's only available in this bundle though. Oh, it works beautifully.
Yeah, I wanted to show that because there were some other stripy ones in the other one that it doesn't have to be perfectly lined up, and it's still really effective.
Yes, yeah.
It adds a little bit of texture.
Oh no, I wouldn't want it lined up. I wouldn't want
No.
to fussy cut it because each time, like we've got there, in that one you've got a diamond, and in that one you've just got the stripe, so it looks like a leaf in that one, but it looks like something Aztec-y in that one, doesn't it? And a compass quilt, that means the ship could have been anywhere, couldn't it? You know what I mean?
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Then we're going to do our strip again.
Okay.
And this one you would do all 4.
Yeah, of course.
You would have 4 at this point.
But so really, once you get going, it is not repetitious as in a bad way.
No, but
repetitious therapeutic way. So
Yes.
you know that once you've got this far, you know it's going on to another strip.
Yes. So
Perfect.
it does repeat. So the same steps are quite familiar.
Yeah. If you're worried at home that we might be running out of time, don't worry. We're going to keep going with this. We're just going to keep going with this. I think it's important you see how the block goes together. Yeah. So now, did you have to put this one 5/8 of an inch down? Did you have to put it down that 1/2 inch and then
No.
flip it over? So this one it just says sew it.
Yeah.
Sew it to it. Oh, okay.
You don't need as much wiggle room on this one.
Yeah.
Now it does say in the book to use a true 1/4 inch rather than a scant 1/4 inch.
Oh.
I
That
don't really
always.
know.
That was
Yeah.
why is that? What difference does it make?
Well, it will make a difference at the end when everything lines up.
Right.
But the difference between using one or the other, I don't know.
No, because surely if you use the same if you or use a scant on everything or
Yeah.
a full on everything. It's
Yeah.
whether when you mix the scant
Yeah.
and the full that you're throwing, isn't it?
The only thing that might change is at the end when you're squaring up. It might come up a little bit smaller than you anticipated,
Oh, okay.
but
If you use if you use a full one,
full
not
one.
a scant one.
Yeah, I know. So, and
Right.
she didn't explain what she meant by a full quarter of an inch either. So, just bear that in mind.
Yeah.
Right, and this is literally again just cut across.
Do we need the thingy out again?
Yes, please. And one thing I liked about the bundle is that even though Adele's matched them up to the colours,
On the
on this one, you still got some wiggle room to really play around with where you want
Oh,
to
yeah,
put things.
completely, yes.
Which is really nice.
Do you know what I love that one on the wall behind me, but now I'm seeing this one being
Yeah.
put together. I'm thinking the blue, because it's a mariner's compass quilt, the blue and the sea and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So then you need
Yeah, these ones you cut apart and you literally just need
with your
about-
normal ruler.
normal ruler. You only need about a quarter of an inch straight across.
Yeah.
To give you, just be careful when you're cutting them that you don't go.
Oh yes, you don't want to cut that.
Yes, thank you. There we go.
Okay. So then you need your ruler. Now
Yep.
we A or B on this one then?
B on this one.
Right.
Now this is where it gets a little bit tricky.
Right.
So you're going to line up, use your numbers
Yeah.
along this side,
Yeah.
and you're going to line up your 12 or whatever size block that
Yeah.
you're doing where your points meet, where your number 1 and your number 3 point meet. So right there.
Oh, in there, where
Yeah.
the three different ones come together. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, where point 1, 2, and 3. So this is point 1 and this is point 3, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah. Got it.
And
so
this
where
is-
they meet. Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
You've got it on there. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is the only cut you make on this point. You don't do the bottom and top.
Oh, okay. Okay.
This is just the only one that you do.
Right.
But that's where you line it up. And
Yeah.
it took me a little while to figure out because it does show, but it wasn't entirely.
Yes.
But that's
I've
how you do
got
it.
one cut on the drawing.
I know. No,
Were you
but
a
I
bit
mean,
punch drunk by this point? Like, oh,
Yeah.
more lights.
no, it was more of like, how do I line it up? Because
Yes.
it was different. This is a different.
Different way, yes.
than the other
so,
ones.
Yes, so it's not totally repetitive because
No.
this is now different, which
This
is
is-
why it's important to sit and read it all,
Yes.
isn't it?
Then you end up with that.
Well, we'll just see, because we're nearly there with this one, but we just
Yeah.
want to talk about putting the whole thing together. That's
Yes.
all. Okay.
There's a scrap.
So then you end up with 8 of these.
Yes. Now you do have to mark. Oh,
What do you need?
I didn't need a marker. I forgot.
What kind
I
of
forgot this
marker do you
step.
need? I've got a pencil. Unless we
Pencil will work. Anything that will. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Because I can do it on here as well.
Okay.
So let me see when. Because you have to mark. You have to mark where you're going to pin it together. So, using units sewn together and patch, point 1, place point B. Dash line. Okay. Maybe it's
You
where.
jumped ahead.
Oh, that's right, because I marked it. That's right. I know, I do need my other ruler for this.
You need
This one.
the one that comes with the book.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the B. Yes, I remember now. Right. So you line up your 12
Yes.
to your corner, and on the other side you've got a 12 and a dot.
Yes.
You want to mark the dot that is above the 12. So
Right.
you want to sort of go underneath the ruler and mark a little dot right where,
Oh, okay.
and that's just to line up the points, basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you need to do that.
Oh, that lines up this point here.
Yes.
That's the mirror image of that point there,
Yeah,
where
so-
number 1 and number 3 join together.
Yeah. So they'll
Got
join
it.
up there.
Yeah.
And so I marked them as I cut them, actually.
Yes. And then you put, I see, because then
Yeah.
you've got to match that perfectly.
Yes,
haven't you?
and then I go in a quarter of an inch from the seam.
Yeah.
So I got my seam allowance, and then I match it up directly with the dot.
You see, this really is for a true somebody who loves precision and loves their quilting and loves, doesn't it? Really.
Yes.
This would be at the stage I'm at the moment. I'd have given up by now and
Yeah.
gone. Oh, I'll just guess it. And
Yeah.
then of course you're going to ruin the whole quilt. You don't. It's somebody who loves all
Yeah.
that kind of precision,
Precision.
isn't it?
And again, I'd rather do this than foundation paper piecing for me.
Somebody put on Facebook, the Facebook fan page this week. Oh, I've just tried foundation paper. What a load of old faff. But it's all it's all different things. Because my friend Shimoy Mary adores it. Anyway, so you pinned your seam through that dot to that dot on the other side. Yeah.
Now the other thing you need to make a decision on, because you're going to sew these together. If you want to do the reverse applique square.
Oh yes.
You only sew up to your sew line, so your next seam, then you stop.
Right.
Because otherwise, if you go across it, then you're not going to have that corner to go under. If you're going to do the applique circle, then you would go a little bit past that.
Okay, so do it the way you've done yours.
Okay.
So you're going to go, now you're making sure these seams don't flip over as you're going along as well.
So when it gets to the end bit, you've got to make sure if you're using a 1/4 inch foot that you're...
Oh yeah, that the little thing doesn't catch it all up. Yeah.
I went there and I actually did a little lock stitch right on the corner there.
Oh, okay.
Or you can do a little backwards and forwards.
Oh no, but I think a lock stitch is brilliant. Oh, that automatically cuts.
Nice.
Stitch, yeah.
There. So then you press it open.
That question never came through, Paul? No. Oh, right. What's the difference between a scant 1/4 inch and a full 1/4 inch?
Okay, well, for 1/4 inch, I can't tell you exactly, but I know for a scant 1/4 inch, which mine won't be.
Yeah.
So you want your seam line to be inside your 1/4 inch seam allowance. So on here, you can see, use it the right way, I've got my 1/4 inch and then my seam line is outside of it.
Yeah.
If I have a scant 1/4 inch, that seam line should be just inside my 1/4 inch, and then my edge of my fabric should be right up against the 1/4 inch.
Yeah, so it's not even 1/8 of an inch.
No.
It's like a hair's breadth smaller, isn't it? Yeah.
And it's just to make sure that your seam line, because it will take up a little bit of bulk, is within your seam allowance.
I mean, they say scant sometimes, don't they? Because by the time you've stitched it,
it
fold it back, you've got 2 layers of fabric, 2 seam allowances and stitches, and they can all add up the infinitesimal amount, can't they? Anyway, thank you, Karen, for your question.
Yeah,
Right,
it's not so much of a problem with simple blocks, like if you're just doing squares, but if you get something that's quite complicated, has a lot of seams, it can really...
Yeah. Oh, you need the eye now.
Yes, please. So we're going to pretend that we've got the other side on as well.
Yes.
So once you've got all of your seams sewn together, the last step you do is you press all of your allowance back.
Yeah. Okay.
So you'll have...
So you leave that all on? You don't cut that back at all?
No, I left it all on.
Yeah.
And then I pressed them. And then what I did was I've got my square and I cut them...
So this is the square that you've got in the centre?
Yeah. I cut this a little bit big, but you only need about 4 inches by 4 inches, roughly. And then you just lay that underneath and pin it. And you can either hand stitch...
What did you do? Top stitch?
I top stitched, because...
No. Time allowance.
Time.
So it's kind of not like reverse because you don't cut anything away, do you? Literally just place a piece behind and stitch it down.
Yeah.
So that would be, and then the other half would go across there and create the full circle.
Yep.
That is fantastic. We've run out of time, but I still need to go through very quickly. If you've then got 12 of these, where do you then go to get this? Because we've got a circle here.
I know, yes. So once you've got it all done, and there's a ways that you have to trim first using your 1.5 inch ruler.
Yeah.
So it tells you to line up, it tells you in the book.
Yeah.
So it's 6 1/4 and 6 1/4, you line up sideways and here.
Yeah.
And then your diagonal goes from here to here. So it'll be 6 1/4 on the point, 6 1/4 on the other point.
So then
you trim these bits. So I'll just do these quickly.
Okay, but so that means you're then squaring it off. You're squaring it off. It's no longer a circle.
Yes. So you square it off. I'll show you. Let me twist it. Let me use my pad like the way it's designed to be used. And I'm just doing this roughly. because I don't have the rest of my square to line up with.
Yeah, no.
So you end up with kind of a
Oh, it's not a
octagonal.
square. Yes, so you end up with this. So shall we go for this one here?
Yeah.
So you end up with that
kind of
shape
an octagon.
with your ruler.
So you're
But
sort of
it's an uneven 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's an uneven octagon, isn't it?
yes. Then you'll
Don't worry about
Yeah,
chocolate.
yeah, yeah.
Don't worry about chocolate.
Okay,
So you've
anyway,
got,
so
you've
you've
got
got
your
it all-
uneven. You've got your 12 uneven octagons. Then you obviously add a triangle into the corners.
yes, which is what this is.
Right.
I think I've cut them a little bit.
Oh, don't worry.
a
Don't
little
worry.
bit
We're
big.
just going to have to talk through it.
So then you add your triangle, basically here, which they will be a little bit big, not quite as big
Yeah.
as this, and then you trim it down to 12.5 inches
Which
square.
gives you a square.
Square, yeah. So this is your block.
Yes.
So these
And-
will be your trimmed sides.
Yep.
These are trimmed, but then you add your triangles onto them.
And then you literally make these blocks, which have got the cornerstones,
Yeah.
and then you sew it together like this, don't you?
Diagonally,
Diagonally.
yes. And it does give you those instructions in the
Yes.
book as well, nicely.
But all of that, people who make quilting, it's going to be
Yeah.
what they're used to, so it's not
Yes.
a problem there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's that fantastic. That was fascinating, and this is just look at
I
that.
really like
Would
that
you have a look at
colourway.
that one more time, Jessie? That looks brilliant. Now you're back in an hour, and you're
Yep.
doing a curvy windmill,
Yes.
not quilt. You're doing the cushions.
Cushions.
I've got a curvy windmill quilt here.
Yep.
I'm going to rush off because I'm going to go
Okay.
and do the bundles. But thank you so much
Sure.
for that. It was absolutely brilliant.
Cool.
Wasn't it? Right. So I've got two bundles very, very quickly. The bundle that's on the wall there is this one, Dyford Hall. 171, but now, I need to have a quick word with you. Loads of you got both of these in your baskets. I do need you to start checking out now. It's important. I know you've been watching intently, and I hope you loved that demonstration. I thought it was fantastic. But you do now need to check out, because there are loads of you got them in your baskets. I do understand they're considered purchase. I know you've got to think about it, but just so you know. Right, so in this bundle, you get 12 metres of fabric. 2 metres, 1.5 metres, 1.5 metres, 1 metre, 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 2 threads. You get the book and you get the rulers with everything you need to know. You can do 3 quilts in there from that pattern and all these blocks. I'll just show you the back here. All the blocks you could do in there. So you could create your own designs if you wanted to. Okay, so that's that one. And then the blue one that Emma was just demonstrating on. 2 metres, 1.5 metres, 1.5 metres, 1 metre, 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 book, rulers, threads, £196.99. £196.99. Oh, and the little book on its own. What I'll do is in one of my other hours, I'll remind you about the book. I've got 2 hours on my own. I'll remind you about the other book, the Premier book. I just want you to see this one. £49.99. £49.99. Right, don't go anywhere, don't go anywhere. I'm sorry for running over, but I thought it was really important you saw the end of that, because otherwise it would have been really frustrating, wouldn't it? It's me on my own, which is why I don't mind going over, because I'm not upsetting any other guests or anything. You all love the curvy windmill quilt. In fact, this is it. This is it here. Shall we spin round and have a quick look at it? This is the quilt, the curvy windmill quilt. Ooh, there it goes. Isn't it lovely? Isn't it lovely? We're not making the whole quilt today, but as you can see, look at that quilt there. It's made of 2 different blocks, isn't it? It's like the little star block, and then it's the big kind of windmill quilt in block in the middle. So what we've done today is, well, I haven't. Emma's created a cushion. Right, okay, so you see there, the spotty one there, that's your little star one. Then the one in the middle, that's what we call the big windmill one there. So to make the quilt, you just make lots and lots of them and put them together. The pattern that we have got in today's bundle actually is for that whole quilt. It's for the whole quilt, you see. The fabric we're doing in your bundle isn't to make the quilt, it's just to be able to make 2 of these blocks. 2 of these blocks, right? So you could create these cushions. Now there's enough fabric in each bundle to make 2 cushions. So you could make 2 of those, or you could make 2 of those, or you can make 1 of each. So The one that's made out of here, now I'm just going to have to do this. Let's just, actually, before I show you the fabrics, let's just go through the one here, because I'm going to go through this bundle and I can move these out the way. So this is the little star one. But look, it's got like a little cathedral window or sort of effect there. It's just curved over and everything. It's sweet, isn't it? So that's one block. And then there's this block here. This is the other block here. This is the bigger block. They're quite simple. They are quite simple to do. But then this has got the pattern inside and then the plain on the outside. So what you get, poor old Emma's having to try and catch the cushions. So you get 2 meters. You get 1 meter of the ivory, 1/2 meter of the blue, and then 1/2 meter of the bird fabric. It is called, oh, I haven't got it written down. Oh, Aqua Birds from the Stitch Cath. Like Cath as in a girl. Cat. Stitched cat range. Oh, no. Oh, isn't this the one that's coming up? Isn't this the fabric that's being launched next week? Is that it? That might be it. Lovely, isn't it? So you get 2 meters in total. You get the pattern. Now, what I need to tell you is, in the pattern, there's not the instructions for the cushions. There's only the instructions for the quilt. The blocks are obviously in the instructions, but so listen carefully to what Emma's got to tell you. Right, so now which one are you demoing? The yellow one. So this one here, you get 1 meter of the white, 1/2 meter of the bijou school. Are they sol? Yeah, that's sol. And 1/2 meter of the gingham. You get the thread, and you get the instructions, $19.99. Now, obviously, there's not enough fabric in these bundles to make the quilt. There's only enough fabric to make the cushions. But 2 cushions, $19.99, that's good, isn't it? And you've also got a whole quilt pattern in there. I'll go through it in a second with you. Then I've got the purple one, the lilac one. This one looks like it's not ivory, is it vanilla, this one? So you get 1 meter of that, 1/2 meter of the sol in raisin, I think that is. 1/2 meter of that's Tilda, isn't it, that one? And then you got your thread and your instructions, £25.99. Beautiful. And then last but not least, this is lovely. This is very period, this one. This is like cream, 1 meter of the cream. Or it might be the ivory, actually, the same as the first one. 1/2 meter of the cream. Is that claret or crimson? I can't remember now. Crimson. 1/2 meter of the big roses. It's cream, this one. $24.99 plus your thread, plus your instructions. Before I go over to Emma, let me just show you the instructions here, because the instructions give you the 2 block designs, which is what Emma's using today. It's what she's based her cushion on today. But the instructions are actually, look for a whole quilt. But you will need to look, that's to make the whole quilt, to make these instructions. But obviously your fabric's only enough to make 2 cushions. Well, what it is, as we do this, we go past, what you can do is you can make it into a lap quilt if you want to and stop here. You could just make it that little one in the middle, or a cot quilt or something, and then you've created the border around. But if you look, it's only these 2 blocks, which we're going to do today. So you'll be able to make this quilt just by watching today's show. Right, okay, I'll put that there. Go and see Emma. Right, is that the best you could do with the display?
No, sorry.
Honestly.
Well, I didn't want to hide the instructions.
All right then. Right, okay, which one are you going to make first then?
I'm going to do the big windmill one first.
Do you need this out, or are you going to be all right?
No, I'm fine. I actually remember it.
Okay,
yeah, I actually remember it.
Have you done it before?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
I'll get Chris to come and do the display. You've done this one before?
Some of the techniques, so the folding over technique, I have done on a different quilt. Which It's quite nice. It's a nice, effective way of doing it.
Right.
So I haven't cut everything that I need for the block.
Right, now if you've got, Chris is in the building, so now if you've got everything you need to cut out, everything you need to mark,
I think so, yeah.
everything you need to sew.
I think so.
You sure? You're going to break the machine?
Possibly, yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Most probably, yeah.
Right, okay. So what have you cut out then?
So you need 4.5-inch squares of your background.
Right.
You'll need 4.5-inch squares of your chosen colour.
Why have you only got one then?
Because I'm going to show you how to fold it. The other ones are sewn up and
okay. You're going to fill a whole hour?
Yeah.
Right, okay. So 4 of those.
Yep.
4 of those.
Yep. 2 10.5 inch by 2.5 inch strips.
Yes.
One of your chosen colour, one of your background.
Yes.
These will sew together.
Okay. Oh, Chris has got to go.
Make sure I'm on the right one.
Yeah,
There
come
we
back to one. Chris is diving in and out trying to do his display. Which block are we making then? The big one?
The windmill, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And this technique, you can do it either by hand, the folding over, or on the machine.
Right, oh, okay, right.
If you're doing it on the machine, it's easier if you've got a machine that has variable speed on it. So you can make it go slow.
Why does it make it easier? Because you'll be more precise.
Yes, because otherwise, if you don't have control over your foot pedal, it can sort of go over the edge.
Yeah. Do you need the iron?
Yes, please.
Oh, look, I'll have to move all this out the way now,
Oh, no,
Chris.
well-
He's doing. I'm only joking. I'll put it in the middle. While you weren't looking, see, Chris did all this display. He kept going like this. Oh, I think he was going to be shot. I think he's going to be shot. Now it's going to move. Now, on this one, there's no direction. But when you were doing the birds, did you have to watch which way, or did you just go, it's going to be random? It's going to be random.
Just random. I fussy cut a little bit, tried to the square that's in the middle. Of one of them.
Right.
But no, the birds, it works quite well actually because they're quite random.
Oh, are they? Oh,
Yeah.
yes, there's no direction. They're
No,
random,
not really.
yes,
Yeah. So you end up with a strip like that,
Yeah.
and then you'll cut them into 2.5 inch strips that end up looking like that.
Have you done this because Paul won't let you use your rotary cutter? Is that what you're doing? Right.
So you can get 4 of those, and you get a little bit extra as well. So there's
Okay.
a little bit of wiggle room if you need to straighten up or anything like that. That's that part. So you put those aside for now.
Yeah.
And then you need your background and your colour squares.
Right.
And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to fold over your colour square. Give it a little press. Match it up in one corner. It doesn't matter which corner.
Right.
And then you're just going to pin the heck out of it.
Oh, yes.
Which I'm not a pinner, but for this you definitely have to be.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm pinning it, matching up the corners in all the corners in the corner, obviously.
Yes.
And then I'm going to pin 1/4 inch in on the edge here. So you want your pin to literally go right over your triangle. And
They're
pin.
very big pins you're using.
Yes, so I can see them.
Okay.
Or so my husband can see them before he steps on them.
Oh, okay. Oh. Okay.
There.
So it's hardly pinning the heck out of it with 3 pins.
Well, I'm not finished yet.
Oh, sorry. Oh, you really?
It's going to have quite a few all together.
Okay.
So I'm pinning those bits so they don't move.
Yeah.
And then you take the middle and you want to pin about 1/2 inch. And I actually did measure. I'm going to do it properly. I did measure because I like them to be consistent.
So what you doing?
So I'm measuring 1/2 inch into my coloured triangle, straight down the middle.
Yeah.
And I'm going to use that point to fold it over because you need to fold over at least 1/2 inch on these. Give it a good. So I'm folding that over and pinning down the middle.
Okay.
And then I'm doing
So you
it
do
here.
this before you've stitched anything together?
Yeah. Yeah. And then this is the point where you can do it by hand. So you're going to, once you've got that curve going on,
Yeah.
you want to start 1/4 inch from your edge.
Oh, okay. I was going to
curve.
ask that. Do you run it off into the edge? But you don't. You start 1/4 of it, which is why you pinned it 1/4 inch down
Yes,
there. Yeah, got
because
it.
that needs to be straight because that will be in your seam allowance.
Yes.
And then you can either hand tack or hand sew that down or along your curved
So,
edge.
would you make it an obvious stitch with embroidery thread? Would you do a secret ladder stitch? How would you do it?
It depends on what you want. I mean, when I've done it before and I've done it by hand, I've done it so that it's rather invisible so you can't really
Oh,
see
okay.
that part.
Yeah.
And on the machine, I actually matched the thread as much as I could.
Oh, okay.
doing it.
Yeah, because at home I've got a mug rug that Lucy made.
Mm-hmm.
I've got my Tibetan bells on it that I ring before I come out in the morning, and that's almost. It's more of a cathedral window than this, but
Okay.
she's done all of these bits
Yeah.
with a different coloured
Oh,
embroidery
that
thread,
would
like
be
a stab
nice.
stitch through, so it's quite
Oh,
nice.
that would be nice. Yeah, you could do a blanket as well.
Oh yes. Oh yeah, blanket would be lovely. Well, I
Yeah.
suppose it depends what look you're going for. Because if you're
Yeah.
going for finesse, clean edges, then you wouldn't. But if you're
No.
going to make it look folksy,
Yeah,
then you
that would
could
be
do,
nice.
couldn't you? Right, what you doing now? Then?
I'm just changing my foot from 1/4 of an inch to a flat foot.
Just normal, the normal foot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when you start in the corner and you sew onto your background fabric first. Just going to move my pin out of the way.
So you're now saying in that 1/4 of an inch that you had it pinned, so
Yes.
it's just 2 layers of fabric.
So it's not actually, it's just 1 layer of fabric on the background. So you're going
Oh,
to
so you're not even on the yellow. You're not even on the yellow yet.
No,
Then.
I'm just going to sew on the diagonal. I'll show you on this one that I've pinned.
Yeah.
I'm going to sew in the diagonal.
Hang on, we'll just get that camera into there. I think we need to go from upstairs, Jessie. Okay, can you come in closer? Don't sigh, Jessie. It's just so we can see where we're going. So we're going
Yeah.
from
this diagonal, from this corner,
Yeah.
straight along in the background fabric, along your
Oh, okay, so
side
you're
of
not
your-
even on the yellow fabric at that point.
No.
Yeah.
And then when you get to this point where it starts to curves in, then
Yeah.
you turn it around and you'll start to sew along that edge.
Oh, okay.
And it just show you that. It's a really nice diagram in the instructions on how to do that as well.
Okay. You see, I don't remember, when I've done the curvy women before, I don't remember doing the curvy bits on just a 4-inch square or 4.5-inch square.
Okay.
But obviously I must have done if that's what's in the instructions.
And this is where it's nice to have a slow machine
Yeah.
go along the edge.
Or a machine that can go slow, not just
Yes.
a slow machine.
Yes. Yes. Or both. Well. The bigger squares are easier, so you're going to do this on the smaller ones as well.
Oh, okay.
These are the easier ones to do, I will have to admit, because they're bigger.
Are you able to just move that hand a second to see where we're going with? That's it, just so you can have a look at where. Put it back now to the sewing, because I
Okay.
don't want you to go wrong with the sewing.
Okay. And I'm
Blame
just-
me.
And if you've got an option of using your needle down all the time, so when it stops, it's needle down, use that option, so that it will help when you lift your presser foot up to
Yeah.
move your fabric, and you won't lose your spot.
Do you leave your machine on needle down position most of the time?
Yes. Yes, I've got 2. One of them I have to make sure I press the button so it stays needle
Right.
down. The other one does it automatically.
I think these ones you can set these to actually to do be needle down finish all the time.
Yeah. And this is also where those big long pins come in handy, because they're easy to
Yes.
get out. And then you just finish off the same way you started, so back into that
So
diagonal.
just straight into the cream on the background.
Yeah.
Yes. The thing is, if you do hand sewing, it's quite a nice little project because you can take those away with you and
Yes,
just or
do
take them
those-
to the telly or whatever and do those separately from the quilting.
Yeah.
Couldn't you?
Because this is the only bit you need to do hand sewn. Well, you have to do hand sewn if you want to do it that way. So it would be nice little, get those squares sorted and. When we go on trips, if my husband's driving, I often will hand sew in the car.
Oh, don't you feel sick?
No,
I can't read in the car.
I can't read, and looking at my phone is problematic, but I can sew.
No, not while she's driving, Paul. Paul missed the beginning of that sentence. I knew that was coming. But you can sew quite happily.
Yeah.
Is that just because you love sewing so much, you make yourself be able to do it?
I can do it by feel a lot. You know how some knitters can do
Yes.
it? Yeah.
Oh, yes,
I can
suppose
do-
so, yes.
After a while.
And you've been away again just recently. I'm not that I'm stalking you or anything.
Yeah.
You've been away again recently.
Yes, I was in Holland and Germany last week.
On holiday.
No.
You don't have to answer. You don't have to answer me.
No, it was for work.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, we had actually my
Oh, no, hang on. Which work? Flower work or sewing work?
Flower work.
Oh, so you're looking at tulips? No.
No, well, it was a bit of both. So, my line leader has changed, but my old line leader, it was his last day.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
Your boss.
my boss.
Yeah.
It was his last day this Thursday, and we had a leaving do for him.
Oh, just so you know, if you haven't seen Emma, folks, we've got lots of new birds coming thing. She's a botanist. She's a scientist. This is just a hobby. hobby. And what she does is she does now. You don't mind me saying, do you?
No, go.
It's developing plant food for
Flower food, yeah, cut flowers.
So if you buy cut flowers from Waitrose or Tesco's, they come with that little sachet. She's most lovely. And did you know if it says a litre, you can only put them in a litre, no more, no less.
Yes.
Actually, just if you got two, I'd bung two in. You know what I mean? So can you overfeed flowers then?
Yes.
You know that pineapple plant Hannah bought for Christmas, nearly dead, now it's gone yellow.
Oh no.
Not the pineapple, the leaves.
Oh no.
No, not the pineapple. Pineapple's still green.
Is it?
Right.
Okay. So you end up with 4 of those eventually.
Yeah. And now, would you press it, or would you leave? Because if you press it, you're going to lose that roundy edge, not curved edge, but rounded edge.
Well, I did have to press it because when you sew them together, you have to press them, so you do lose it a little bit. But if you wash it, it will poof up again, and then you get a little pocket. And if you're hand sewing it, what Lynn Edwards recommends is if you hand sew it, to do a little tack to join all the layers of fabric together.
Oh, so don't just attach it to itself. Go through every now and then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that it's a little bit more secure.
Right.
So then you take your strips that you've cut.
Oh yes, yeah.
Yep. So then these will go. You have to do 2 exactly the same, so it will go like that.
Oh, wrong one. Oh yes, I see now.
Yeah.
I was thinking, why are you doing another centre? But there's more than one centre, because look on the block. There's 3 in a row here, not just 2. So on this one, have you done it slightly different on this one?
Yes, so on this one, this colour and this colour is the same. On this one, I've switched them. So this is going to be my centre colour.
Right.
Which matches the colour here.
Oh, we haven't got to that bit yet, sorry.
No, haven't got to that bit yet.
Got it.
So I'm just doing the...
oh, yes, because that
bottom.
bit's going to go downwards, isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah.
I was getting confused. But you go back to your 1/4 inch foot now.
Yes.
So do you always, whenever you're quilting, do you always put your 1/4 inch foot back on? Not quilting, piecing.
Yes. Just because the least I have to think, the better. The least I have to think, the better.
I hardly think so. You're quite brainy. Wait yourself, Wendy. Good morning, John. The quilt behind you is lovely. Wendy's on, please. What time did she send that? Wendy, we've done it. Did it at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Wendy was one of our Search for Stars.
Oh, yes.
We did 5 Search for Stars.
All did brilliantly.
They didn't. They all do brilliantly. We find out on the 7th who's won. On the 7th.
Ooh, so next.
Don't tell me anything. I already know what I'm like. Remember, we start our birthday celebrations on the 7th as well. 7th till the 12th, we're doing birthday celebrations. You must be on on one of the birthday days.
I'm
then.
here next Saturday again.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Are you?
I'm on every single day apart from the Friday. So I do the Thursday, the launch, Thursday, off on the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Natasha's on. Well, I wasn't allowed to tell you, but Natasha's on with me on the Tuesday. You went to meet Natasha. Natasha was the other presenter when we started. She's on her maternity leave.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Sorry.
It's exciting.
Oh no, it is. It was brilliant last year. It was absolutely brilliant. So.
Right. So I've got 2.
So how do you know which way round to do your curvy bits? Because they're not the same.
They're not the same, but it does show you in the pattern.
Okay.
And you do 2 exactly the same. It doesn't seem like you should, but you do them all exactly the same way. Oh, it's not.
Oh no, hang on. Oh no, it is now. Or do you have to be exactly the same?
It does have to be exactly the same. So yeah,
Chris, do we need a quick unpick? Or we're not going to bother?
It's bound to happen. Bound to happen.
Well, let's see what it looks like if we do it the wrong way round then.
Okay. So wrong way. This one's the correct way. So you have your 2 strips and your middle bit sewn together.
Right.
And then that should go like that, but then
Oh, but
my windmill's the wrong way.
no, yes. But this So the blade should look no, it's completely wrong.
Yeah. This one's right. This one's right. This one's the wrong way. This one should be this way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Paul
this
says he's happy with where it is. So
one. Okay, good.
he's in charge, as he keeps telling us.
Oh.
Do you need to press anything before you start?
This one could be pressed. And then when I do press, I'll just show you quickly. So on these, they will naturally, you can see this, and I haven't even done anything, and it will naturally, the seams want to go inside.
Oh, yes, 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 yes.
So I've done these ones out so that they
Okay.
nest.
So you can nestle them later.
Yes, please. There we go. So handy tip there. Have the picture in front of you
Yes.
for reference while you're doing it. Or you'll have to spend time with Jack.
You have to do what?
Spend time with Jack. Jack the Ripper? Seam Ripper? Jack the Ripper?
Never heard that one before. It's because I call it a quick unpick, so it
Okay.
would work.
Oh,
You'd have
yeah.
to. Yeah. Oops.
And then your blocks come up at 10 inches each.
It's quite a big block then, isn't it?
It is.
10-inch block.
And like you said, there's enough fabric in there to do the whole middle. So with those cushions, the top of them is also quilted.
Right.
So I had enough of the plain background to use as the backing for the
Oh,
quilt.
so the back of this is lined with
The background,
this.
yes.
So, because you get a metre of that, don't you?
Yeah.
You get a metre of the cream or the ivory or the white. So behind this is quilted. So behind this is all. So you don't need to use your best ivory for that. You can use
No.
some muslin or something like that, couldn't you?
Yeah, you could use something.
We had muslin on yesterday, and people were saying, what would you use it for? And Hannah had said her mum had bought a cushion kit from Festival of Quilts, and that had muslin in it as the backing of
Yeah,
the.
I've actually used them for the top of some of my quilts. For the front, for what, just background, because it's nice.
Muslin?
Yeah.
But you can see the wadding. You can see the wadding.
Oh,
you're talking American.
yes.
No, I agree with you. You're talking calico.
Yes, calico.
We had this
Okay.
conversation yesterday because if you read an American pattern and it says use muslin,
Yeah.
it means use calico.
Yeah.
And if you use any other and it says use muslin, it means use muslin. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah. We're on the same page now. So this is my sort of squiffy windmill.
Yes. It's almost there, isn't it?
Yeah. But I do like this technique. It's a nice,
Yes.
a little bit different because it does give it just a nice slight
Okay,
curve.
so this is a 12-inch block?
This is a 10-inch block.
Or 10-inch, sorry.
And
right.
then what I did to make them the cushions was I added a 3-inch border all the way
Right.
around.
So all you've done is you've made the block for this cushion. So we'll
Yep.
go on to the other cushion. What time is it? Oh yeah, plenty of time.
Okay.
So to make this one, you did the big windmill, 10-inch block,
Yep.
properly,
Yes.
and then to create that, you did what? How was that? Wide was that? Sorry.
3-inch.
But there again, you can do whatever size you want, can't
Yeah,
you? at
exactly.
home? Because did you have much after you did this and this? Did you have much fabric left
There wasn't a
over?
lot. What I wanted to do was actually make the cushions so that I could do a binding all around the edge. So do it.
Oh yes, yes, yeah.
But I didn't have quite enough because I wanted to do a contrasting.
Oh,
but-
okay, okay.
but if
So
you
it's
had
not
some
enough
extra-
to do the flat and bind it.
No.
Okay. Unless you do it in cream, but that'd be a bit boring, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So there wouldn't be much. There wouldn't be enough of this then to go wider.
No.
So you have to do 3-inch if you want to.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So you do 3-inch border.
Unless you do a different back because the back is all the same
Oh
colour
yes,
as
of
well.
course. Yeah, of course.
So
Yeah.
you could do a different back. Could do a cream back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then there's that. So that's
So
that block.
did you put it on the two sides?
Yes.
And then do right the way across the top, right across the bottom, like you would do with a border on a quilt. And then so that would then make it. Is this 10-inch finished or 10-inch?
It's 9.5-inch finished. Or no, it's 10.5-inch finished. Okay, so it's 10-inch.
So it's 10-inch finished.
Finished.
Then you add That'll end up being a 2.5
Half
inch
inch.
wide because you've got 1/4 inch there and a 1/4 inch there.
Yeah.
So that's 12. So then you just cut your backs,
Yeah.
depending on what kind of back you want. You've done a envelope back.
Yes.
To then create the backing. Oh no, hang on, you have to do quilting first.
I've
though,
quilted
wouldn't
it,
you?
yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah. So I added the borders on first, layered it up with some craft 2-ounce polyester
Oh, we've got that.
wadding.
We've got that in this
Yeah.
hour.
Then used my extra backing, the cream background
Yeah,
for
to
the
make the
backing.
sandwich, yeah.
Yep. And then I just quilted it. So on this one, I actually just quilted around using my walking foot.
So now, do you do the quilting once you put the border on, or
Yes.
did you do it before you put the border on?
I did it after I put the border on.
Because there's no quilting in the border, is there?
There is on the...
Oh, on the
that
other one.
Actually, on this one a little bit. So
Oh,
I
okay.
just went around the edge. That is quilted.
Oh yes.
And on the other one, I just did, using my friction pen, do straight lines,
Well,
diagonal
we'll come
lines.
to that
across.
one.
Yep.
Have you got that one ready? We're going to do that one, aren't we?
Yeah, we can do that one.
So-
'Cause that
so
was
you
a little
put-
bit different technique.
Yes. So you put the border on, made your quilt sandwich, quilted it.
Yes.
Then made your envelope back, went round that side, pulled it through, and it was
Yeah.
all done.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
Then the other one, then with the little star or the little windmill.
Yeah.
I'll swap those round so we can have a look at that one. So this is the one we're going to be making now. Now there's enough fabric, like I say, to do both these out your bundle. Oh, actually, before we do this, I've forgotten about that. Let me go and do bundles.
Oh, okay.
And then we'll come back and do yours after that. Is that all right?
Yeah, no problem.
Right. Okay. 4 bundles. 4 bundles. The first one that Emma's already made here. You get 1 metre of the ivory. You get 1/2 metre of the blue, 1/2 metre of the birds, the thread, and the instructions. Now, the instructions are for a quilt, but you just use one of each of the blocks from the quilt to make the cushion. But you could, that's enough fabric to do that. Obviously, there's not enough fabric here to make a quilt. You can just make enough for the 2 blocks and the 2 cushion backs. Okay? Then the one that Emma's using now is this one here, which is the most popular one, which is 1 metre of white, 1/2 metre of the sol, and 1/2 metre of the gingham, plus your thread, plus your instructions, £19.99. That's called Sunshine. Lots of that one in baskets. That'll stay here. Yeah, you can make 2 for less than £20. You need to buy your cushion pads, obviously. Oh, I'll stay here because we've got this vintage looking one here. So you get 1 metre of the ivory, or cream, 1/2 metre of the red, 1/2 metre of the beautiful vintage roses on the pale blue background. £24.99. Plus your thread, plus your instructions, lots of those in baskets too. And then last but not least, I think now, the other day when we did the Gradiente, did you watch when Janet Jackson was on the other day? Oh, she's fabulous. Not Janet, Jenny Jackson. She did a quilt and we had all 4 different colours. And the one, I went, oh, this is the lilac one, and went away. Came back and the lilac one was the most popular by a long way. We weren't demonstrating it or anything. And also the yellow one today has been the most popular. We think people are missing Sunshine because every day the yellow bundle has been the most popular bundle of all the things we've done. So you get 1 metre of this, 1/2 metre of that, 1/2 metre of that, thread, instructions, £25.99. There it all is. Right. So this is the other block, which is the small star block. And you say it's a different technique.
It's very similar, but slightly different.
Okay, will we get this one right?
Possibly. If we're lucky.
Right.
So you start with 4 4.5 inch squares,
Okay.
4 2.5 by 4.5 inch rectangles,
Right.
which I've only got one to show you, and then 8 2.5 by 2.5.
Are you going to have to do
Squares.
those curvy bits on that little bit? Okay.
Yes, that's
Right.
why I did the big one first.
Okay.
The big one's easier.
Right.
This one is not
So you
difficult,
could, if
it's
you
more
didn't want to
fiddly.
do the little one, you could do 2 big ones or 2 small ones, couldn't you?
Yeah,
Better
yeah.
manage. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
And then one of your chosen colour for the centre.
Right.
So on this one, it's the same technique where you fold it in half and you pin it. I'll make sure I got it the same way.
Oh yes.
So I
Oh, but these go onto a rectangle, not onto a square.
square, yes. And I've pinned all these so that I've got them going the same direction.
Right.
That one didn't stay down. So that,
Why do they all need to go? That's just what has to happen. You have to put, because you think you'd have to do.
yeah, you don't
mirror
have to.
images.
Yeah, but I've so that it'll match. I've done them all the same direction.
Okay. Well, if you made the other one first and it didn't match, you could do one of these the other way.
Yeah, the other way.
Right.
I didn't pin this one quite as much because it's smaller, obviously, but you still do your 1/4 of an inch.
But then you turn the other one down in the middle 1/2 an inch. If you just turn this one down like a 1/4 inch,
Yes.
it's an inch in the middle, yeah.
Yeah. There we go.
Okay.
Just for consistency.
Yeah.
There we go.
I think I'd want to use baby pins for this, really. I suppose I'm just they're like
Yeah.
proper quilter's pins,
Yeah,
aren't they? Or
there we go.
I'd use dressmaker's pins.
I do have some.
You know, you,
I like
you
the thin
use what
ones.
you want.
Yeah.
Your husband's not here, that's all.
That's
I
true,
think,
that's
yeah.
true. I do what I want.
How are his armies, his little
Oh,
soldiers?
yeah, they're coming along.
Does he paint them?
Yeah, he paints them. He has made them. He has. Oh, that was an experience. He's actually sort of
Molded?
yeah, well,
Or melded?
yeah, melted down the metal and then put them into molds.
Did you do that at the house?
Yeah.
You got to
No.
forge in the back garden or something?
No, he had, those little, kind of like camping, or like the students have, where they have like a little hot plate.
Like just one?
Just one hot plate, yeah. He had one of those, and
It's not just students that have that. Single people can have those
that's
too.
true. Well,
He's got one of those.
he
Did it
did.
get hot enough?
Yeah, he did. Doesn't do it anymore, but the first time that he did it,
So then he just sits with like little tins of paint and says, oh, they wore red and they wore yellow and they wore...
he has lots of paints, but he has probably about 20 different reds. I'm not kidding. And greens and blues and all the other
And
bits.
what's his proper job?
He's an engineer.
Making what kind of things?
Oh, he's a mechanical engineer, so he does pipes.
I don't even know what that means.
I think he's an estimator
You
at the
don't
moment.
know, do
I
you?
do. I remember, well, when we were in America, what he used to do, he used to work for a construction company that worked at Intel.
Right.
And they used to make the tools for Intel.
Right.
And so he used to get the plans from Intel and then make sure that all the pipes were the correct specification and then
Oh my-
instruct
and
the
that's a
people.
job?
Yeah.
I suppose it has to be, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You see, isn't it funny and I bet he enjoys it, doesn't he? Do you know what I mean? But he said, I'd hate anything like that. Something like that would drive me mad.
I think he does it because that's what he does.
Okay. Oh, okay. So
But
that's
he-
what he does. So he
yeah.
just does the job, but then he comes home and paints his soldiers. That's what he does.
He's
for
into history. He likes history. He would have been like a history teacher if he'd had the choice, but
Okay.
his dad said you're going to be an engineer, so
Oh, okay.
he was
one
a
of
good
those.
son. Yeah, and he went and became an engineer.
So is he English or American? I've asked that before.
He's American.
Right.
Yeah.
Can be asking all these personal questions
That's
while
okay.
we're saying, hope you don't mind. Just tell me to shut up if I ask
No,
anything.
it's fine. Although
I just love people. I love finding out about people. I could sit in coffee shops for hours and just
Oh.
watch, and I could make up when I first moved to London, because I moved from like Chester, which was not boring, but it was
But,
just
yeah.
a provincial town. And then I discovered Soho and all, because all the fabric shops and everything when I started were all in Soho. And you'd literally, there was such diverse lifestyles in Soho that I'd go and buy buttons or fabric for college or whatever, and then sit in a coffee shop at the end of Old Compton Street as it was. And it had a reputation, and just sitting in the window of this coffee shop, watching people coming in and out of different doors, and it was, I could have spent,
Yes.
and I had no money, so one coffee would last. I used to smoke in those days, sit there like this, watching the world go by.
Yeah.
I just love it. Anyway.
I like that. I have people watching. The best place I've ever been people watching was, and it doesn't exist anymore, which is a shame, but we used to go to baseball games in Eugene, Oregon.
Right.
And it was an old-fashioned wooden stadium. It was actually built from like in the war when they were like making jobs for people. And it was proper like wooden bleachers. And you'd get such a mix. Eugene, Oregon is a mix of like it's a university town, so you get a lot of hippies, but you also get the people like who live out in the backwoods,
Oh,
and then you get the
wow.
young girls who are there to watch the baseball
Yeah,
players.
yeah.
It was such a mix, and then families, because it's a very family.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was the best place to people watch. It was such a mix.
My friend Brad, who lives in San Diego, his lady friend, her sister has a farm. Now, I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's in Amish, where the Amish
Oh,
people
yeah,
are.
yeah, yeah.
And they don't use money, they swap. But she was showing me all these pictures of the Amish people coming to a farm and everything. It's fascinating. They're in their horse and carriages, and I just think things like that. And I don't mean it by any offence by it. I'm not, I just think different lifestyle, even within a town like Birmingham. Like I've had to stay here, so I've wandered into Birmingham town in the evenings, and just to see the different lifestyle.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll shut up.
Yeah,
Shut up.
yeah.
Right, so you do 4 of those.
Do 4 of those. I'm just going to do these 2 because I want
Okay.
to show you the other side as
Yeah.
well. If we've got time, I'll do the other ones.
Okay.
So you literally just do the same thing, but you do it on the opposite side.
Oh, on that same rectangle.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So you just do it over it.
Oh, crossing. Oh, of course, because we're crossing over, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oops. So it's exactly the same. Do the 1/4 inch. That's a bit of a big 1/4 inch.
Do you miss living abroad?
Not really.
Don't you?
No.
See, when I was in films, I suppose I was spoiled because every year I'd be living in a different country
Yeah.
and working on a different film sort of thing. But
I think it's different to visit than to live.
do what?
It's very different to live somewhere than to just visit.
Yes, yeah.
I mean,
Well,
you know
I'd
you're
visit
gonna-
for a year.
Yeah.
I'd be like when I did Ghost in the Darkness. I lived on a game reserve for 7 months in
Oh,
South
nice.
Africa and things like that. So it wasn't just going in for
Yeah.
3 weeks and coming out again, sort of thing. So I kind of got a taste of it. But you were looked after. I wasn't living
Yeah.
there on my own, as
Yeah.
it were. Lived on my own in New York when I had to live in New York and loved that.
Yeah.
But I get itchy feet. My dad was in the RAF, so we used to move every 2 years. So now I've lived in this house now for over 7 years, and I've never lived in one house for more
Oh,
than
wow.
7 years before. And I'm like, oh, is it time to move? Is it time, all that sort of stuff.
We've moved around, but I'm thinking, after the last move, I don't know, I just can't bear it again.
The thing is, I've
I
got
like-
such a. I'm lucky. The house I've got is in such a fabulous place. It's such a lovely little village, and my views at the back are just fields
lovely.
of sheep and a
Nice.
little church from Norman times and things like that. And you kind of can't miss that. But then you always think, well, I wonder what it would be like to live here or live there or do this or do that. And I've still got like all my friends my age they've all bought their homes to retire to in France and Spain and things like that. And I'm like, retire? I've still got 3 more careers I want to do before I retire. Okay, just rang.
One day I do want to spend, I keep saying, I'm not a city person, but I do want to spend about 6 months in London, just
Have you not lived in London?
not lived in London.
You see, if I move back to London, I'd love to move back to London. I can't afford to now because it's just
yeah.
ridiculous. But I lived in the East End when I first moved there. Then I moved out to Islington, which was kind of trendy, and then I went to Chiswick, and then I went out to Twickenham. That was my move to the country, moving to Twickenham. See. So I never lived in. I'd always loved to live. A friend of mine, Alan Cummings, he had a flat right in the middle of Soho, and it was noisy. You could never get to sleep or anything like that. But it was really, really fascinating to be right in the centre of Soho.
Yeah, I think that would be really fun.
Paul used to live in Totteridge and Whetstone. So it's hardly anywhere near the centre though. That's kind of suburbiaville. But when would you do that? You see, you'd have to do it. You'd have to get the job people to place you in somewhere in London for 6 months, so they could give you a nice flat and everything, rather than have to upheaval the whole family.
Yeah, no, it would just be a 6-month thing.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't think I'd want to work. It'd be.
You don't want to work? You
Yeah,
just
want
win
to
the
enjoy.
lottery then?
Yeah, exactly. Just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Go out at night.
You could tell it was. I forgot to do my lottery tickets. I went on to buy some lottery tickets last night, and it was a rollover 105 million or something like that. You couldn't even get on the website. Couldn't even get on the website. Yes, that's the only way I could go and live in London, is something like win the lottery.
Yeah.
Yeah, Charles Worthington, the hairdresser who I used to work with on This Morning, he's got a gorgeous house in Chelsea, and it's just. And he had a flat in Battersea that I used to go and visit him and his partner and everything, and it's just. That's the kind, and he drives a Rolls Royce around town and things
yeah,
like that.
nice.
I can't believe you've not lived in London, but then, you know, can't live there as well as all the other places.
No, I've always been, except for when we lived in Toulouse when I was really little. We
Yeah.
lived there for about 6 months. We've always lived out in the country,
Oh, have you?
basically, yeah.
Where does your daughter, what part of the world does your daughter live in then?
She lives near Dartford.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so she's down that way.
Yeah.
So she,
Still
yeah.
not close enough to London though to say, hello darling,
No.
I'm moving in for 6 months.
Yeah, no. No.
This is a little bit,
Yeah, this is a bit,
not fiddly, but it's more tricky than the
It
big
is.
one, isn't it? I think I'd have
small.
to do these by hand, these little ones. I'd
Yeah.
feel quite happy doing these ones by hand.
it'd be satisfying.
Yeah.
And it gives you a different finish as well, because
Oh yes, you see, I do it with an embroidery stitch, an embroidery thread, and then not a huge stitch, but like
Yeah.
lots of new buyers coming in today. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
right, how are we doing on time?
Oh, we've got ages, Jessie.
Oh, okay.
10, got 10 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, oh, I'll slow down then. She said.
I can start this one. Let's see this
Oh,
one. Yeah, that's one side.
oh yes, because you had to have 4 of those, wouldn't you? Because
Yeah.
that one would. Oh, I'll let you do it first.
Yeah, let's go like that. Okay. Let me finish these up.
Yeah, okay. What are you having in the middle? That one.
Yes.
What's these for then?
Those are for to go on here. Because I've
Oh
got
yes,
one
because you have
side.
to do the other side, yeah, of
Yeah.
course. Yeah.
Yeah.
So have you got a job that you'd still like to do then? Have you got anything like you've done your botanist, you
Oh.
can do your sewing. Is there any other kind of?
I have to think.
Oh, okay. No,
No.
I'd love. When I was growing up, I wanted to be a butler or a telephonist. I don't want to do either of those now, obviously, but I'd love to be a psychic.
Oh, that would be fun.
I'd love to do that for a living.
I used to want to be an air stewardess.
Oh, what?
I know.
That's hard work. Air hostess, air stewardess.
Yeah.
Hey.
Well, that's when we lived in Toulouse, and those were the circles we. Because my dad used to work at Airbus,
All right.
so a lot of his friends were pilots and married air stewardesses, that sort of thing.
It just sort of looks like it's such a glamorous life, doesn't it?
does,
But
yeah.
We're living in Twickenham. A lot of my neighbours were air hostesses and air stewards, and they. It's hard work. You
Yeah.
think it's glamorous, don't you? And it sounds lovely, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That they fly to Johannesburg or Cape Town and they have to spend 5 days there before they. That bit must be quite nice.
Yes.
But the actual flight is hard
Yes,
work. You've
'cause
got to be smart and neat and polite and everything for the whole
Yes.
flight. Mm-hmm. Yeah, little Paul said, forget that. You wouldn't be able to reach up, would you? If they said, oh, could you just get my things? Oh,
Pin. Being naughty.
I thought it was about you, little Paul.
Yeah, I caught a really early flight back from Germany last week, and I did think about the poor air student, or at least I could just go sleep, but
Yes,
they actually
yeah.
had to be at work.
And that's only a short, and the ones on the long haul ones, the 12-hour ones or the
Yeah.
20-hour ones, you know. Again, it's just that thing about all different jobs people do, and I just think it's, I mean, obviously there's no way we can do all the jobs, but you know,
No.
it's just fascinating, isn't it?
Well, something you don't, I mean, I didn't know my job existed till I had it,
What your
my flower job.
flower job.
Yeah.
So did you go to university and do a degree in botany?
Yes, so I've got a degree in botany, which is a lot of plant science. Actually, the part about botany I liked the most was the identification part. So you'd actually
Like doing the DNA of a flower.
know, like, what flower is it? Like, what species is it?
It's a daisy.
Yeah, but what species is a daisy? And what plant family and all of that sort of
Okay.
thing.
Like the genealogy almost.
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the bit I liked the best.
So how did you get into this then? How did this all start then? It's not like something you're going to come across in the botany world, is it?
No. Botany came second.
Oh.
I always wanted to learn how to quilt.
Okay.
Because I used to have this Holly Hobby dress when I was little, and it was all sort of fake patchwork
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
bottom.
yeah.
I'm like, oh, that'd be really nice to do. Because my mum, everybody used to knit, but nobody could do patchwork. And then when I was in America, this lady knew.
Oh, of course, being in the perfect
Yeah.
place to do it. Yeah.
So she taught me, and it was all. I actually did it all by hand first because I didn't even have a sewing machine then, or rotary cutter, or anything.
You're not that old.
No, I didn't have one. It existed. It existed. I didn't have any money.
No, of course not. No.
So I didn't have any of that.
So, have you still got those quilts that you made back then? Then?
Yeah, my first quilt, one I made for my daughter, it was all by hand, and I still have that one. It's very well used. And then when
I was going to say you're not going to know this, but she's a grandma.
Yeah.
I know.
when my granddaughter came along, I asked Kaylee what sort of pattern she wanted. So we both agreed that it's exactly the same pattern as her baby quilt.
Yeah.
It's just different fabrics. So it's made exactly the same.
Oh, and did you do that one by hand as well, though?
No, that was all machine.
Yeah, Granny's too old now to be doing hand.
Yeah.
So they could just. How old is she? Not your daughter, the granddaughter.
She'll be two.
Oh, she can't. So what
two.
does she call you then? Does she call you Nana or Granny?
She hasn't yet.
Oh, she hasn't.
No, she has certain words, but she hasn't.
I don't know the developments. I don't know what
but
a
no, I
two-year-old
would
can
be.
talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I would probably be Nanny or Nana.
Oh.
Yeah. My nans were always Nan.
Yeah.
Nanny.
My mum's mum was Nan,
Yeah.
and my dad's mum was Grandma.
Okay.
Anyway,
Yeah.
what time is it? I'm having a lovely time, but we're not like a proper sewing group. This, isn't it?
Yeah.
So do you live out in the countryside now then?
Yes.
I'm not going to ask you that, don't I? So you'll have to
Yeah,
give
no.
that away.
No, it is pretty. We've got a pub in the village,
Oh, right.
so we've got that.
Yeah, we put a pub and a church
Yeah.
and a village shop that we run because it's so small our
Oh,
village
yeah.
that no, when they set it up 15 years ago or whatever, nobody wanted to open a shop there because it was too small a village.
Yeah.
So the community opened it, so we have a little
Your
shop.
community shop, yeah.
Yeah.
Our next village over has one of those. We've got a corner shop, and one way we've got a sort of village shop, proper village shop, and
Yeah.
the other way we've got a community shop.
Yeah.
Apparently, we used to have a shop in our village, and apparently it closed down after it got robbed.
Oh, no. Oh, nice village.
Oh,
Oh, no.
No.
You run out of thread now.
I ran out of
Chris!
thread. I thought, I knew
We
I
need a
didn't have
bobbin.
very
We
much.
need a bobbin.
I didn't have very much left, but then I thought, oh, that's okay. I'll just fill it up before I go on.
And you didn't. You were busy chatting.
I know. I was
Has
too
Chris
busy.
got one? Oh, have you got another bobbin
I might have one.
in a different colour?
Yeah. So I've got my little
Oh, yes, the box
machine
comes
box of
with
tricks. Yeah, it's lovely.
Oh, yes, there are some in the bottom.
Oh, yeah, it's
are
the
they
yellow one.
decently wound, though? Is it wound properly?
Yeah, I think it'll work.
that'll be fine.
It'll work.
Yeah, we'll use this one. Sorry, Chris. Oh, there was one.
Done it now. Sorry, too
Oh,
late.
don't. Oh.
Is he going to get
Yeah,
Mardy?
that's it now. I was about to say to you this morning, it's really obvious which of the experts Chris really likes, right? And he really likes you, because you can tell, by the way. He's around. He's very professional. I'm not saying he's rude to
Yeah, no,
anyone.
no.
But, sometimes. And I think you're going down the list now.
Uh-oh. I'll be in his bad books.
What's Jessie mean? He doesn't know what he's talking about now. Hello, new buyers. I know, only got a few minutes, but we're fine.
Okay.
What do you need now?
She's that.
You weren't supposed to be. Let's get this right. She was supposed to be in this weekend, so.
Yeah. Well, tomorrow. But
Oh yes,
not
of course,
yet.
not today. It was supposed to be
Not
today.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'll just pin this one then.
What's another one? You can pin that one.
Yeah, I'll just pin it. So you have your 4 arms of your star.
Yeah. Is that what they're called? Arms.
That's what I call them. It's like
Okay.
a starfish, like a sea star arm, isn't it?
Huh?
Like a sea star arm. On a-
Sea star arm.
Yeah,
You mean
like
a
starfish.
Starfish. They are. Yeah, they are arms, aren't
Yeah.
they? I wonder what they're called on a real star. Real stars don't have arms, though, do they?
No.
You're the scientist, not me. Right, sew it together then.
Yeah.
Oh,
Got 'em.
yeah, that's fine. 2 minutes. We can get it
Oh,
done together in
okay.
2
Yeah.
minutes.
Do a bit of chain piecing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, Lots of funny noises coming out of this expert today. Yeah, CL was. Do you know CL? Have you met CL? Claire
No.
Louise Hardy. She's brilliant. She's absolutely fantastic. And she used to be like the one of the like the fashion producer on Sewing Bee.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but she was the fashion producer. She wasn't she wasn't the producer of the show. She was, the fashion producer on the show. And she's brilliant. She's a dressmaker. And she's been in Australia for 6 weeks on holiday. 'Cause her family are out there and everything. And all to join her thing is that she's really, really accomplished. She's a brilliant. And she was like, oh, and so all these strange noises like that. And she was picking on me like Billy-O yesterday. Whoop, she kept going, whoop. She had such a lovely time, though. And I followed her on Instagram. She got there quite stressed before the holiday. She'd worked so hard, right?
Yeah.
And you saw her arrive, and then slowly the sun, and she had her hair done, and being with her family.
Yeah.
And her mum, she was visiting her sister, but her mum happened to be out there at the same
Oh,
time.
nice.
So they had this really, really lovely
lovely.
time together.
Lovely.
But again, and on a holiday, we were saying on holiday for 6 weeks. It's not like when you go for 2 weeks, you think, oh, got to visit here, got to do this.
Yeah.
You just live life,
Yeah,
don't you, when
yeah.
you're somewhere for
You
6
just do it
weeks.
at your own pace.
Yeah. And it's just the little things like having your nails done, go for coffee, just
Oh,
every day
yeah.
sewing and things like that.
Nice.
Right, so what are you saying together now? Got 35 seconds now.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Just
no phased. Not phased.
No. If the machine cooperates.
Oh.
There we go. It's a bit thready,
Okay,
but
yeah.
this is what you end up with.
Also, where's yours go there?
Goes there,
And then that goes,
and that would be attached to that.
yeah.
Then you just attach them.
And then what did you do on this one very quickly? So you did, and is that same size border?
Same size border. So 3-inch border all the way around. Layered it up with the wadding,
Yeah.
backing, and then I used my friction pen to just draw, I think about 2.5.
So you just did diagonal lines on this
Yeah,
one?
just 2.5 inches apart, or 3 inches, 2.5.
And then made your envelope back again?
Yep.
Brilliant. When you're
Yeah.
back next Saturday.
Yes.
Safe journey home. Thank you so much for coming in at such short notice.
Oh, no problem.
I'll see you soon.
Okay, take care.
And you. Right, bundles, bundles, bundles. That one first, the birdie one first. So you get 1 metre of the ivory, 1/2 metre of the blue, 1/2 metre of the birds, thread and instructions, $24.99. Now the instructions are obviously for the whole quilt, so you get a whole quilt instructions. All Emma's done is use one of the big windmill blocks and one of the smaller star blocks in order to create the 2 cushions there. That was that one. The one she was demonstrating with was the yellow one. This one you get 1 metre of the white, 1/2 metre of the yellow bijou, 1/2 metre of the, what's this called? Gingham thread, and the instructions, $19.99. Loads, you got that in your basket. I'll do the red and vintage one. This is Paul's favourite one. So you get 1 metre of cream, 1/2 metre of red, 1/2 metre of the chintz, plus your thread, plus the instructions, $24.99. And then last but not least, the lilac one. You get 1 metre of your ivory, 1/2 metre of your raisin, and 1/2 metre of your Tilda flowers. Very popular. And your thread and your instructions. £25.99. Plus, you get the instructions in there as well.